So the statistics, you guys, in 2020, approximately right under 17% of the population were 65 and older here in San Diego. But projections indicate that by 2030, the population is going to reach about 1 million people that are over the age of 65.
Thank you for joining me on San Diego Home Tours today. I am Addie Jacobs.
Talking about aging adults here in San Diego. So I'm going to touch on 3 things. I'm going to touch on the statistics of the aging adults here in San Diego. I'm going to talk about what to look for in the homes that you should be buying if you are getting a little bit older and what to look for when looking for those homes, and the top places that you may want to look for within the location of San Diego. Thank you for joining me. I'm Addie Jacobs with Addie Jacobs Real Estate, and we are talking aging adults. So the statistics, you guys, in 2020, approximately right under 17% of the population were 65 and older here in San Diego. But projections indicate that by 2030, the population is going to reach about 1 million people that are over the age of 65. So that is a 130% increase. So I have a lot of buyers that have maybe sold their homes and they're looking for a better home that suits them. And you don't really think about this until you maybe hit like 50-ish or 55. You think, oh, I can just run up and down those stairs and it's not going to be a problem. I can live in 2-story or a townhouse here in San Diego. But I really want you to think even if your parents are looking for a house. So this doesn't just go with you, but aging population altogether here in San Diego. So with that being said, I would say there's some top places that would be a great location for you when thinking about buying here in San Diego. Number 1, they're not in any order, but number 1, I would say Rancho Bernardo. Rancho Bernardo has a lot of 55 and older neighborhoods that are all one level. And what I like about these homes in Rancho Bernardo is that they are one level, and also the rooms are really good sizes. They're in HOAs, which they have access to the golfing and the swim and the country clubs like that over there. And also really great winery over there, and the community of Oak North or even Seven Oaks have a lot of single family homes. So that's really great. Like I said, I touched on the golf courses, great shopping centers, and great medical facilities. So it's also quiet and it's very maintained. So those HOAs, they have it very maintained. It's very pretty out there and it's quiet. That's the one thing I really like about Rancho Bernardo. Second is Scripps Ranch. That has both newer and older homes and great shopping around there as well, and access to medical facilities, which is really important because if you have to go to the hospital, you don't want to drive an hour or 2, right? Or even 30 minutes away if you can have it in your neighborhood. So think about these places. Number 3 is Carlsbad. That's North County Coastal. So with that being said, you're going to see a lot of single family homes over in La Costa near the coast. So it's milder weather, perfect for retirees. Sounds good to me already. And top rated healthcare facilities as well as connected road networks. So I'm reading off this a little bit because I don't want to miss a beat when explaining these. Encinitas, great location as well. Mild coast, close to healthcare as well, dining and shopping. So great for the retiree, and 1-story homes is great too. Escondido, very affordable single family options out there. So it's just going to be a little bit better for price per square foot, I would say, than being on the coast like Encinitas or Carlsbad. So go out to Escondido. It's going to be a little bit warmer probably too, but you're going to get a little bit better price point depending on the house. Chula Vista, Eastlake, Otay out there. It's beautiful. It's growing so much and it's beautiful out there. So you're going to have some newer builds. You're going to have some modern amenities because they are newer builds out there. I had my past company out there and it is growing like crazy out in Otay. So with that being said, I really want to talk about like the reasons why a 1-story home would be a really good fit. Now, I'm sure you're going to be like, I already know all these, but hang on with me till the end because maybe you have missed 1 or 2 of them because They are really great things to think about, especially if you have that aging parent, or maybe you lost one of your parents and one of them has to move into a home, but they don't want to move into, they're not old enough to move into, let's say, a nursing home or something like that where they need care. But think about these things. So accessibility and mobility, right? So making sure that it is one level. Maybe not even any stairs in the house. Sometimes people think, oh, there's just maybe 2 or 3 stairs to get down to another level. You want them to be comfortable in the home that they choose and they live in, and use all areas of the house. I always say that. Sometimes people buy homes and they're like, I can stay in the downtown or downstairs bedroom. I'm like, then you can't get upstairs. So why even have this home if you can't enjoy all of it? You want to think about safety and fall prevention. So in case of access, making sure that the medical access can get there as soon as possible, and maybe wheelchair and walker friendly, right? At first you think you're not going to have to deal with that, but you have never know if you are. So maybe handy-capable home and the access, it would be easy. Okay, this one's really good to think about, and actually my father-in-law talks about it all the time too, but the ease of maintenance, right? Like I moved my mom and her, let's say pretty much husband, over into Del Mar, and it's all one story. And it's great because my mom came from a place right down on Crown Point where it was 3 stories that she had for about 6 or 7 years, and it was just time for her to move. Even though she runs up and down the stairs still, it's a great thing to plan that it's a 1 story. So the ease of the maintenance, think about that, right? Less housework unless you get this huge spread of a house, and simplify the yard work. So what's great sometimes in an HOA, I would have never thought my mom and her husband would move into more of an HOA since, but get this, they only have to take care of their little yard in the back. That is sweet, but the HOA takes care of the front yard, takes care of all the bushes and the pool up there, so they don't have to have a pool themselves. So even though they pay an HOA of $500 a month, they definitely get that in return. Now, HOAs I could talk about all day, but making sure that the HOA does take care of all of that stuff. So making sure that future-proofing a single-story family home, it's needing like less renovations. So making sure that the house isn't super old where it needs a lot of renovation. I would think about that too, making sure that there are wider doorways and it's an open layout. As you get older, or if you're in one room, I lived this with my father, who was pretty much paralyzed and bedridden at age 45 years old, and we had to make our house handy capable for him to be able to move around the house. We did not want to move him out of his house because he had built that house himself, and he wanted to stay in the house and be comfortable. So we had to make it handy capable, which a huge pain in the ass. So if you have the option, knowing that you are getting older, making sure that you're in a safe space that is larger and easy to move around in. The next one would be energy efficiency and cost savings. So lowering those utility bills and lower maintenance costs. So it's so much easier to cool a 1-story home than a 2-story home, especially if you're not moving around that huge house of a 2-story. So making sure that's happening, and also you don't have any rails going up and down stairs. So again, lower maintenance costs, but also safety. The other thing is resale value and market demand. I am a huge fan of 1-story houses. I have a 1-story house. I don't know if I'd ever go to a 2-story house. It's easier to sell a 1-story house in my professional opinion, because it goes to everybody that could buy a house, right? Everybody can live in a 1-story. Even when I Airbnb my own house, it's great because I've had handy capable people be able to live in my home because I have a big door and it's 1-story and they could go out on the deck. So thinking about that as you get older as well. And they're in high demand. We don't have a ton of 1-story houses, especially in San Diego, because we're building and building on top of each other. And I'm gonna talk in a video about that. But those are my things to think about as you, or you and your husband, or you and your significant other, or your parents are looking to purchase a home as you get older and you're aging. I know we hate to say we're aging shit, right? But it is climbing in the numbers of people who are going to be aging as we live older. All right, if you're ready to buy, sell, invest, please give me a call. I'd love to help you out here in San Diego. Talk to you soon.